Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, it seems like Nancy's drunk again. Now obviously I'm joking, but I don't really know how else to explain it. There's only two possible explanations. Either she's utterly dishonest and simply saying what she has to, or she's on some sort of heavy dose of mind-altering substances, possibly alcohol. Maybe a mix of both. Nancy's doing her media tour. She does these every now and then, and as we're getting into the primary process, or a primary process that the Democrats are very heavily trying to avoid, Nancy's number one priority, her main goal, her mission in the media, is to convince us all that Joe Biden isn't just healthy. No, Joe Biden is the best. Just flat out, you know? Doesn't matter what you compare him to, doesn't matter what the case, Joe Biden is just the best. He's the greatest thing ever, and if you can't see it, well then there's probably something wrong with you. Yeah, Nancy's on something, folks. I've never seen anything like it. Let's take a look at what the Democrat Wicked Witch of the West has to say, and then let's do an honest assessment, a bipartisan assessment, mind you, on the current state of these uniparty fossils. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, here's a little glimpse of Nancy Pelosi's alternative universe.
Again, age is relative. I was in L.A. For some Democratic stuff recently, and I met with Norman Lear, who's 100, going on 101. He was telling me some new shows he was involved in. I was meeting with Frank Gehry, a 90-something architect, showing me new buildings he's building throughout the world. And they were like, 80, he's a kid. But again, it's relative. He's younger than I am, so he's a kid to me as well, the president is.
This president did such a remarkable job. He is a person of such knowledge, such vision for the country, such knowledge of the issues, such strategic thinking, and such a legislator. And on top of it all, a person who connects with the American people. He just has to get out there.
Age is just an arbitrary number. Joe Biden's younger than I am. He's a kid. He's the greatest thing ever. He's such a visionary, such strategic thinking. She goes on to claim that she knows a 90-year-old architect, and I don't know, name some other guy who's 100. But obviously this is a little bit of a false equivalency. You know, Nancy is older than Joe, but Nancy, I mean, for the most part, is all there. She's had her little stumbling, bumbling moments, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary. Her brain pretty much still works. You know, not everyone ages in the same way, and not everybody suffered 2 brain aneurysms in the 1980s, which then clearly affects them later on. She's painting this picture of who Joe is, and then of course there's reality. Joe Biden just hosted the prime minister, or is it president? No, the president of Israel at the White House, and it seems that he almost fell asleep while mumbling.
And we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level, and Aqua and Paul Schramm. Yes. And as I affirmed the Prime Minister.
Contrast that with what Nancy Pelosi just said. The guy's literally falling asleep midday. This is why at the NATO summit he couldn't attend dinner, because it was past his bedtime. It was like, what, 5 or 6, pooped by 2. He needs to be in his jammies with a warm glass of milk by 3. It's unbelievable. Then John Kirby was challenged on the issue.
About Israel, because the president met with the president of Israel yesterday in the Oval Office. This moment got a bit of attention, and it's not the only one that is kind of like this that we sometimes see, and I just want to play it for you.
Sure. And we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level, and Aqua and Paul Schramm. Yes. And as I affirmed to Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday, America's commitment to Israel is firm.
John, this got a lot of attention. It got picked up in a lot of places. Why is it so hard to understand what the president is trying to say there?
I think he was very, very clear, Martha.
The president was very, very clear in the moment. Was he? I mean, as Joe was mumbling, look at the Israeli president's face. The man is clearly confused, has no idea what he's witnessing. He even looks away uncomfortably. Was the president very clear in his communications? Obviously not. It's a complete frickin' clown show. The question is, how is this acceptable? Or how is it accepted to begin with? How is it accepted that the president of the United States has literal brain damage? judge. And the craziest part is that he's not the only one. Let's continue to apply pressure on this issue. Let's go to Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein, who literally doesn't know where she is, literally. I'm using that term purposely and accurately, not trying to be hyperbolic. She literally doesn't know where she is and can't remember her day-to-day after being released by the hospital. Now she's officially conducting her duties as a sitting senator, and well, let's just say it's not exactly going so well. Dianne Feinstein tries to give a speech in the middle of a vote on defense appropriations bill and is told by her handler to just say A.
Senator Feinstein.
Say aye.
Pardon me?
Aye.
Yeah.
Just say
I would like to support a yes vote on this. It provides $823 billion. That's an increase of $26 billion for the Department of Defense. And it funds priorities submitted.
yeah. Just say aye.
Okay, just aye.
Thank you.
She's in such a poor cognitive state to the extent that she doesn't know what's going on around her. She doesn't know that it's her time to vote. Instead, she tried giving a speech and then had to be told, just vote yes. So you have a senator that's being told by her Nancy Pelosi most likely handlers to just vote on things. She's a literal dementia patient being used as a Democrat establishment rubber stamp. It's a complete farce. And of course, let's approach this from a bipartisan perspective. It's not only on the Democrat side. I mean, it's a uniparty issue. It's an establishment issue. The Republican Senate leader, Mitch McConnell, appeared to have, I guess, a small stroke while giving a speech. I mean, that's what it looked like. I don't know if there's a diagnosis or if people know exactly what happened, but just take a look at this shocking moment where he just freezes and appears completely unwell while speaking at a press conference.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
He had to be physically walked back behind closed doors. This comes right after Mitch McConnell had reportedly taken a pretty major fall at a DC airport, also using a wheelchair as a precaution in crowded situations. You know, the current standards, the current state, it just doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the actual number. Donald Trump's pretty old, but this simply just doesn't apply to him. It has to be viewed on a case-by-case basis. If you are unwell, if you are clearly unwell and unfit to be serving in your elected position, then it's simply that. It ends there. You are unfit and you should not be serving. Instead, we keep getting gaslit as if we're the crazy ones. We're the ones who are just being big old meanies. It's ageism. Now, the context is important, not just the age number. If you're literally unable to participate in the Senate and you have aides whispering in your ear telling you to vote yes, if you're falling all over the place and seemingly suffering a minor stroke while at the podium, or if you're simply Joe Biden falling upstairs, over sandbags, falling off your bike, tripping over wires, tripping over your own words, well, I mean, come on. Let's address the obvious. Let's address the elephant in the room. Whether Republican or Democrat, Mitch McConnell has got to go. Get some fresh blood, some new ideas, some competent, healthy, younger minds and younger bodies in those positions. If that can't be the basic standard, then what standards are even left at this point? You know, with a grand jury, you can indict a ham sandwich, and with an uninformed, ignorant, voting populace, well, apparently you can elect one too. The current state of clown world. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.